that actually overcomes the invocation of that compromise, which has been used again and again and again to subvert the democratic process. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So I'll take all three questions first in answer, and then we'll do a second round. Is that cool with you? Oh, good. Yes. The first question was more about economic prosperity for the past 10 years, rising debt to GDP, and key target sectors. My short answer to you is we have to recognize problems and turn them into assets. If you focus only on our assets, tourism, export-led, and all those things, you could improve it, but then there's very limited amount of rooms for you to actually proceed, as well as the inequality side of it that I was telling you about. So how do we come about inclusive growth? Is turning our liability, national liability, poor water sanitation, lack of internet infrastructure, measuring the map of each land so that you give land justice to the indigenous people. All these things are pain points, if you're from the business school as well. This is like the pain points that we could turn into industries that Thailand could really master. And once you master it in one district, you could expand it through the entire region. And then you can do it nationally. And then you can do it throughout our neighboring countries in ASEAN. Imagine if you just turn tap water into drinking water. You need some measuring flows, and you need some IoT devices in order for you to check if the quality of the water is good, and provide that to the 76 districts all around Thailand. What kind of industry is that? It's like changing the environment. It's about giving people the public good that they deserve. EV bus, transportation in Bangkok, as Professor would know, is horrendous, and also the air pollution coming out of it. I was just speaking to another nominee of Time 100 Next, and all they said about Bangkok and Chiang Mai was about the pollution. But if we find a secret sauce that takes care of all these problems and turn them into potential, problem into potential, and that's how you create growth, and also taking care of it in a commercial side, as well as something that's good for the people as well. So that would be my answer. Second part, personal question. In two sentences, be bold, be ambitious. And I think really Thailand, the country, and the world really needs a younger juice, a younger generation creativity of ideas that mix up and find new consensus in new normal. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? I mean, the world has changed so much. When I was sitting in your seat and I'm standing here that 12 years, the new normal that comes from COVID crisis, from the pandemic, from decoupling, you name it. But the problem with this world is that we have old consensus in new normal. But so how do you create new consensus? Is that the younger generations have to speak up. We needed to speak up. Otherwise, it will be left to a certain generation that matters. But again, otherwise, the future that you probably have, or I for sure I have about 40 years left if I live to an average life, and it's a large amount of future that matters to me and my child. So you have to be bold and be ambitious and really contribute as fast as possible. The right time is now. So try it out as young as possible and try your best. And if you fail, you could always try again. So that would be my advice. Third, to Professor, how do we come about this land of compromise and also the struggle, of democracy and competitive authoritarianism for the past 90 years? I think it's about the right infrastructure and the right culture. As of now, there's really hard infrastructure and constitutional hardballs that would prevent elected officials to assume power to govern. It's really coming to domination of ideas through soft power to really show that Thailand has changed, and we want to really have a culture that demands a change. So to the extent that there could be collapse from within. And these terms, I have to give credits to Harvard professors. Tyranny of the minority, for example. Those are the things that have a robust opposition. You have a robust media. You have international scrutiny. You have collapse from within, not because you have guns and bullets, but because you have domination of ideas and you're explaining that this is a win-win solution for the country. It's just not for me. It's not just for you, but it's not even a compromise of principles, but because we have a system that allows conflict, as well as conflict management by itself. Let people speak and let people's choice govern. I can do it. Next time I'm out, people will vote me out. Let the political parties die because nobody chooses them anymore. Not because someone, made some revenue from cooking shows or, trying to come out with a proper campaign finance and disbanding political parties. This is something that takes time, but I think it's sustainable. Rather than any other choices that, is probably going through people's mind. It's a road less traveled, be comfortable with the uncomfortable. It's going to take time, but I think the reason why we found the party to bring about change, because I know it's slow, but it's irreversible also. So that's how we're going to go about it. We're going to win more next time. That's what we do.